If sine alpha is equal to 2/5 and alpha is an acute angle, we need to find the remaining 5 trigonometric functions of alpha. First, we're going to use identities. We know that sine alpha is equal to 2/5. And we also know that in general, sine squared alpha plus cosine squared alpha is equal to 1. 2/5 squared, replacing sine alpha by 2/5, plus cosine square alpha is equal to 1. 4/25 plus cosine squared alpha is equal to 1. And when we subtract 4/25 from both sides, cosine square alpha is equal to 1 minus 4/25. 1 is 25 over 25. So we'll get So we'll get 25 minus 4 divided by 25, which is 21 over 25. And because alpha is an acute angle, we're going to take the positive value of the square root. So it's going to be square root of 21 over square root of 25, which is 21, square root of 21 over 5. Cosine alpha equal square root of 21 over 5. Tangent alpha is equal to sine alpha over cosine alpha. So tangent alpha is equal to 2/5 over square root of 21 over 5. When we multiply by the reciprocal, we cancel the 5. Therefore, tangent alpha is equal to 2 over square root of 21. And when we rationalize 2 over square root of 21, we will get 2 square root of 21 over 21. Now we're going to look for the reciprocal functions. Cosecant alpha is the reciprocal of 2/5, which is 5 over 2. Secant alpha is 5 over square root of 21. When we rationalize, is 5 square root of 21 over 21. And cotangent alpha is square root of 21 over 2. Now we're going to use a right triangle to solve the same problem. This is method 2. C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared, Pythagorean theorem. And for sine, 2 will be the opposite. For sine alpha, 2 will be the opposite, and 5 will be the hypotenuse. Therefore, 5 squared is equal to 2 squared plus b squared. 25 is equal to 4 plus b squared. Subtracting 4 from both sides, b squared is equal to 21. Therefore, b is equal to square root of 21. We replace b by square root of 21. We have all three sides. We can get the ratio. Sine alpha is opposite over hypotenuse. It was given. Cosine alpha is adjacent, square root of 21 over hypotenuse. Tangent alpha is opposite over adjacent, which of course we will rationalize as 2 square root of 21 over 21. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine, so it's going to be 5 over 2. Secant is the reciprocal of cosine. Secant alpha will be 5 over square root of 21, which is 5 square root of 21 over 21. Cotangent, reciprocal of tangent, square root of 21 over 2. Find the exact values of each expression by using identity. Sine over cosine is tangent. So sine 49 over cosine 49, tangent 49, minus tangent 49. Our answer is 0. We're going to factor the greatest common factor, which is 3. So 3 sine squared 68 plus cosine squared 68. And sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta is equal to 1. Therefore, it's going to be 3 times 1, which is 3. We begin by factoring 7. 7 times secant squared 2 pi over 5 minus 10 squared 2 pi over 5. As an identity, we learned that sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta is equal to 1. If we want secant, we have to divide by cosine squared theta, both sides. And when we do, we get tangent squared theta, sine squared theta over cosine squared theta, plus 1 is equal to secant squared theta. Let's replace secant squared 2 pi over 5 by tangent squared 2 pi over 5 plus 1. Tangent squared 2 pi over 5 plus 1 minus tangent squared 2 pi over 5. We get 7 times 1 because tangent squared 2 pi over 5 cancel, and 7 times 1 is 7.